Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to another episode of the LaunchGood webinar series on how to outsmart Corona. And today's episode will be looking at how to get 1,000 plus volunteers to fundraise for your project. You've just seen a video about our Ramadan challenge, and every year we make this bigger and better. So I really encourage all of you to click on the link, find out more, and sign up for that challenge this year. Now, before I invite our guests to this webinar, I'd like to ask all of you who are watching to click on the share video so others can benefit from the advice and experiences shared in this webinar. So as I said, this is now webinar 5 of our Outsmart Corona series, and today we'll be joined by Omar Salha from the Ramadan Tent Project, and also Nazrul Islam from Lonely Orphans. So 2 UK-based charities and organizations with fantastic experiences. And what brings them together is how they've used micro fundraising through community pages on LaunchGood to be successful and to launch their Ramadan campaigns. So I'll be bringing on Omar Salha first. So before I do that, I'd like to play a video about the Ramadan Tent Project. Project, and I'd like to invite our guest Omar Salha from RTP to join us on this webinar.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu wa alaikum salam. How are you doing today?
Alhamdulillah, very well, Adil. Thank you for having me.
No worries, it's a real pleasure. So as you know, it's been our 3rd or 4th week gone in isolation during coronavirus. So it's a real pleasure to have you here. Firstly, we've seen a video about the Ramadan Tent Project.
So Zahidah is also from Malaysia, and let me briefly introduce Zahidah. Zahidah and her teammates from Cinta, Gaza, Malaysia, they created a successful campaign on LaunchGood. MashaAllah, they have raised approximately 170,000 ringgit.
Yeah.
And then they collaborated with a Korean influencer. Yeah. So in a minute, we're going to bring our next guest, who is a Korean influencer. So let me give you a bit of introduction of the campaign that Zahidah managed together with the influencer. So they did a campaign to provide winter aid to the people of Gaza. And it's amazing when you have, like one person, Cinta, one NGO, Cinta Gaza Malaysia, that is based in Malaysia. And then you have this Korean influencer who's helping them out and supporting them. And then they are benefiting, they're helping out the people in Gaza. So imagine, all these three countries coming together, and alhamdulillah, we love, seeing these stories on LaunchGood. So next we're gonna bring in Daud Kim. So Daud Kim is a Korean influencer with 1.64 million subscribers on his YouTube channel. So let's bring in our special guest for today, Daud Kim. Assalamu alaikum, Daud.
Walaikum salam.
How's the weather there? You look cool.
Yeah, it's a little bit cold outside, so yeah.
Okay. So it's good to see you here. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So, okay, so let's jump right into it. And first, I'm going to go with Zahidah. So, Zahidah, tell us more about the campaign that you partner up with Daud Kim.
Okay, so I will first briefly introduce about Cinta Gaza Malaysia. It was first started in 2014, but only in the recent year, last year, 2019, we set up a team in Malaysia with our HQ here. So it was actually our very first time collaborating with influencer. It was not planned initially because actually I went to Korea to travel. Then I got to meet Daud. And then I thought, hey, why not we do some collaboration to do fundraising for Gaza, like to show global ummah. I'd just like to share, the very day I met Daud the first time in Korea was also the first day Daud said his Shahadah, mashallah.
MashaAllah.
Yeah.
MashaAllah. You're so lucky that you get to be a part of that, Yeah, okay.
So when I proposed this idea to the team, I'm very happy because the beautiful thing about fundraising is basically you can just try anything to fundraise for your organization. You don't have to be afraid to try. So we actually flew to Korea to shoot videos with Daud. And that's the you can see the videos on his YouTube channel and also his Facebook. So that's how it all started.
Yeah, I've seen those videos and it's amazing like how much effort that Daud has put in. But before that, I'm wondering how did Cinta Gaza Malaysia first approach you? How did they contact you? And
As I actually told you that when I last 6-7 months ago or 8 months ago I did Shahada, so I became a Muslim. That day I accidentally met her. Maybe she was in Korea as a travel, so I met her. So we talked about the collaborations, and then she talked about the campaign, like, oh, we want to help the people who are freezing in Palestine, in Gaza, because they have no clothes and they have no food and they have no proper shelter. So I think I really want to help them. So then maybe if you have exact idea, then contact me later. So like few months later, she contact me. Let's make the campaign. So we made the donating campaigns and make like new video, make like social experiment video to help, to help people. So that's how it works.
And I can see that you're very sincere in what you're doing with Cinta Gaza Malaysia.
Alhamdulillah.
And all the videos that you have shown, it wasn't just one video, but you did also interviews and social experiment on the street. And who actually came up with this idea to have these sort of videos?
Actually, I made every video by myself, and I like how to make video and editing and everything. I do it myself. But this time, Cinta Gaza Malaysia helped me. So like I remember the two people come to Korea, and they helped me a lot, like new ideas and like how to encourage people. So Zahra also helped me a lot. So alhamdulillah.
Right. So Zahidah, what is it like working with Daud Kim?
He is very, as you mentioned, he's very sincere and he's really into working with a campaign. Not just he is working hard. He really works hard. It was in winter in Korea, and somehow we were imagining like how it's like in Gaza, because we were freezing in Korea, but we had our winter jacket on, so it makes it more meaningful.
It is. So you just did your Shahada a few months ago, right? And so you became a Muslim, and the very important month of for the Muslim which is Ramadan. It's coming soon. So yeah, share with us how are you going to celebrate your Ramadan?
Good question. Actually, I had a lot of plan this Ramadan. Actually, I plan to have Ramadan in Malaysia and Indonesia, like 2 weeks and 2 weeks. Yeah, it was the past plan, but it was all cancelled. So I should spend Ramadan in Korea. But yeah, I think it's not easy because every mosque is all closed in Korea too. So I think at first I do it myself, but Korea is not quarantine anymore, so maybe I can meet my Muslim friends and make iftar together and pray together. Maybe I should do it. Yeah, actually, I have not exact plan because you know what, like this is a pandemic situation, so
yeah, something that we cannot avoid, but it is best for us, to stay home, don't travel, and
right.
it's not possible for us to travel anyways. So it's okay. We can still celebrate Ramadan with us. We can have a virtual Ramadan celebration.
Yeah,
because
course,
I've seen a lot of organizations, they're coming up with virtual Eid, and at the same time they're gonna raise funds online. So they're gonna have like a live virtual Eid celebration, and at the same time they're gonna have a campaign up, and they're gonna do like a shout out to donate to their link, to their campaign's link. So that is a good idea. So I guess you're gonna make more videos in Ramadan.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, especially your experience with celebrating your first Ramadan. Yeah.
Yes, first Ramadan as a Muslim.
So Zahidah, how long did it take you to to approach Daud? Once you've got the idea, was there like a moment like okay, should I approach an influencer? Because I know they have this experience. Okay, should I approach an influencer or no?
Okay, when approaching influencer, I think we have to be persistent, but not pushy. Persistent, like keep on following up. Because I contacted Daud. At first, I thought we would like to invite Daud to come over to Malaysia, but Daud said he could not make it. So I simply told my boss, you know what, maybe we should fly to Korea and do the videos without in Korea. So that's what we did. I think it was less than a month for us to prepare with the script and everything and flew to Korea.
So Daud, was that your first experience fundraising?
Yeah, it is first.
All right, and I'm glad that you two made a very successful campaign, and it's good to see people from different countries coming together to help the people in Gaza.
Yeah, sure, inshallah.
Yeah, so inshallah. So Daud, we wish you all the best. I know it's very late for you right there in Korea.
Yeah.
So we're going to let you go. So we're gonna bring in another guest. So before that, I would like to wish you Ramadan Kareem. May you have a very fruitful Ramadan ahead. And yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. Ramadan Mubarak.
Okay, Ramadan Mubarak. Assalamualaikum. Take care. Stay safe. Okay. So our next guest, we're gonna bring Khalid. Khalid is from Philandure. Assalamualaikum, Khalid.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah.
How are you?
Good, alhamdulillah.
Okay, thank you for joining us today. So with us we have Zahidah. So both of you have raised funds on LaunchGood successfully, even beyond your initial goal. Okay, so we have Khalid from Philandure. He has helped Mercy Malaysia to raise almost 350,000 ringgit. MashaAllah. And your initial goal was, how much was it?
30,000.
50,000 ringgit. Yeah, and then you had to increase the goal on the very first day, right? So you had to
Exactly.
increase the goal to 50,000 ringgit, and then
Yeah.
you kept increasing the goal because the response was so overwhelming, especially from the ones in Malaysia, right?
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, tell us more about your campaign.
Okay. Basically, this campaign is a campaign for Muslim Malaysia to fundraise for their emergency relief fund for vulnerable communities and also for the frontliners at the same time. But at the very beginning, we put the target only 30,000. But within the 3 days, we need to change, and the target become 4 times change within a week, like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, and your campaign is still live, right? I can see that it's still fundraising.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can check out Mercy Malaysia's campaign at launchgood.com/COVID,
Yeah.
and do support that campaign. It's very meaningful, yeah, especially what we are facing right now with the virus outbreak. Um, so I remember you have like a lot of partners, publicity partners, and also influencers, especially the local Malaysian influencers that are supporting your campaign. So tell us more about the influencers. How do they get involved?
Okay. First, we have influencer such as Miss Nina, and
Mm-hmm.
then Kevin Hari, and then Noh Hujan, and then Aizat Hamdan, uh, Said Azmi, and then Alif Sata, Alizah Mahzan, and
Mm-hmm.
also Deborah Henry. So altogether is 8 influencers,
Oh,
local
8.
influencer.
Okay.
Yeah, and they share and they do shout out on their social media. They share the campaign link on their social media. That's why we need to change the target within 1 week. We need to change twice within 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. And how do you get the publicity partners to support your campaign?
Okay. For the publicity partners, we look for people who have their own channel of communication. We look
Mm-hmm.
like anyone that have ready followers. Because in order for us, if in business, we need to find supply channel, and we need to look for demand channel. So same goes in fundraising.
Mm-hmm.
We need to look for collaborators who have ready channel for them to support the campaign. Yeah.
Yeah. Correct. So it's always about reaching out to people, especially with publicity partners. They have a huge network, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah, it's good to also tap into that network, and they also help you to promote the campaign. And it's amazing, like influencers, they also work hard for your campaign, and they're very sincere. Because I've seen that post by Miss Lina on her Instagram, where she did a shout out. To support this campaign, and it wasn't only one post. She did several. Same
Exactly.
goes to Isaac also.
Mm-hmm.
He was interviewed on the TV show, and he mentioned the campaign as well. Yeah, so that's the thing about influencers, right?
Yeah.
So so what works and what doesn't work? So if you work with influencers, or what are the tips that you can give to the audience?
Okay. First of all, in charity things, uh, we need to look for a good heart. I always believe that in good heart, because people in good heart will always have uh, supporters with good heart. For example, those influencers that support our campaign, they are not only do shout out, but at the same time they also donate to that particular campaign. And the amount that they donated is not that small, but it is significant, very significant. That is so how sincere they are, and they do not look for any return, but it is more towards to work together and to make sure that the campaign success. That is number one. And then number two is look for influencers that have ready demand or ready channels. We do believe that if you are playing badminton, by having influencer together with us, is like we are having we need to serve the ball to another part, and the opponent is actually those influencer that don't want the shuttlecock to be fall in their court, so they will always keep playing the game. So we can see how the follower of Miss Nina, the followers of Aizat Hamdan, the follower of Kelvin Zahari, the follower of all influencers, once they do the shout out, immediately the donation will increase. And we notice that every time that we receive notification of huge numbers of donation, we look for our influencer social media and found they are doing shout out.
Okay. So how about you, Zahidah? So probably you can share some insights here. So
Okay,
what do you think?
I really like the analogy that Khalid shared about it's like playing badminton, right? You don't want the shuttlecock to fall on the ground. So both the NGOs and the influencers are really should be working together and have a close relationship and effective communication. Because when you're working with influencers, first you have got to see numbers are not everything. You have to seek for the quality of their followers, whether their followers resonate to your values as NGOs. Yeah, and also so what was my question?
So what do you see that doesn't work? Because we have seen some campaigns on LaunchGood that also use influencers, but the traction is not, I would say, not as what we usually expect when we have influencers involved. So yeah, maybe Khalid or you yourself, Zahidah, why do you think that doesn't work?
Okay, I just remembered the point that I forgot just now. I saw a campaign on LaunchGood actually using an influencer, but it doesn't get as much donation, because when you are working with influencer, you cannot expect that having their photo on your poster and then that's it. No, you have to make effort to reach out to your group of donors who know you, and also the same thing as your influencers, like doing shout out, like what the influencers for Mercy campaign are doing. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. So Khalid, what do you think? What should we avoid? When we work with influencers.
Okay. First, sometimes when we have influencer in our campaign, like at Philandure, we work a lot in fundraising campaign, and we do collaborate with a few influencer, but not every project or every campaign of us is a successful one. Just because of we need to have a very clear beginning together when we brainstorm together with the influencer. The influencer need to understand what is his role and responsibilities, and what is the actual struggle of our beneficiary. And if we have the opportunity to bring the influencer to the ground, on the ground, For example, when Zahidah would like to bring Brother Daud to Malaysia to experience working together. Same goes to us when we work together with Alif Satar, for example. Before this, we bring Alif Satar to our beneficiary facilities. Same goes to this with Muslim Malaysia. Why the influencer have their own spirit and passion to do it? Because they are in that particular environment. They understand what they need to do. So in the beginning, we need to have a clear direction together with the influencer. If we don't have a clear direction, then we will expect a miracle without having any plan.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So the influencers that you have worked with, like Miss Nina. So she, when we mention Miss Nina, we know the work that she does.
Yes,
into urban dakwah and also into humanitarian work together with her husband Noh Sadi, who is also the one who is supporting your campaign. So the brand, the personal brand that they have, I mean the followers that they have, are the ones we can relate to when we have like a certain causes, right? So these influencers, they are humanitarian icon, they are community builders like Kevin Zari, so he built up a community, and also like Said Azmi. So I guess that really helps a lot. Like Daud Kim as well, so where he does the dakwah, so all of these influencers, yeah. So so what's your plan for Ramadan? Are you gonna have campaigns up on LaunchGood?
For us at Philandure, we have few campaigns in LaunchGood for Ramadan. First, we still continue with the Muslim Malaysia campaign, the COVID-19 Muslim Malaysia campaign, and then we will continue our Kita Jaga Semua campaign, where we have those vulnerable community and we focus those who really in need, who are the refugee and also migrants. And then at the same time, we will have outlet cottage fundraising too, where we are collecting fund for initiative to bring kids interactive education to rural area, to the vulnerable communities. And yes, with all this, we still work with influencer. Yeah. So influencer become our secret weapon for the campaign.
That's good to know. So, is it safe for you to reveal now who will be the influencers, or?
Yeah. For Kita Jaga Semua, Imam Muda Ashraf will be our influencer.
Okay.
Because it is more towards to give the education that we need to live together. We are one ummah. We are not, because nowadays when COVID-19 happened and we say, okay, let we throw away the refugee from our nation. So I feel that it is bad for us. We need to take care of our brothers sisters from anywhere, whether they are Syrian, whether they are Rohingya, they are our brothers and sisters. And then for Outlet Cottage program, we are together with Farah Lee and also together with Alif Sata for that initiative.
So these are the influencers from this region, from ASEAN. So your campaign are also focused here in ASEAN as well.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So Zahidah, what's your plan for Cinta Gaza Malaysia? Do you have any campaign coming up?
Yeah, currently Cinta Gaza Malaysia has one campaign live on LaunchGood. It's for Ramadan relief in Gaza. It includes the iftar, suhoor, and also the long-term projects that we are planning to do in Gaza.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna move to the next session. So the ones who are watching right now, if you have any questions, you can ask us here, right here down there, the comment section there. But I do have some questions for you. So people always wonder how do you get influencers? How do you get influencers and how do you approach them? Maybe Khalid?
Okay. First, normally when we look for influencer, first we need to, from us, what we experience, we look for influencer that are having soul of giving or soul of serving others. We always look for influencer that have the soul in community building. So first of all, what we do is we go through official, or maybe through his social media first. And sometimes it will take us a lot of time to spend and a lot of attempt to send them, to DM them or to PM them.
Okay.
Yeah, but we need to have a persistent in communicating, like Zahidah said just now. It is not for you to, it is not pushy, but
Okay.
it is a kind of follow up and then give good comment, support him, become the best supporter ever. Then inshallah he will notice you.
All right.
I believe that the influencer have a lot of messages that maybe they receive 1,000 messages a day. Yeah, so how to notice us? The only way is we need to highlight ourselves in the social media world. Yeah.
So the same keyword from both of you: be persistent.
Exactly.
Yeah, and crowdfunding is all about that. You know, you have to be very persistent because we have a lot of misconceptions about having a campaign up on a platform like ours. So you think that if we have a campaign up on LaunchGood, eventually someone will, stumble upon your campaign and donate. But that is the biggest, misconception. So you should really work hard for your campaign. And then you have to gather the crowd, so you have to gather the people that you know and get their support, and yeah, inshallah the traction will come from there. So we have a question here from Akil Zafran. Okay, so how do you find the right influencers for your campaign, the right one? And at the same time, how do you create like a win-win situation between you and the influencer? So do you provide any incentives? Do you provide any payment, or do you provide like any rewards? So this is always a question that people have when they see an influencers having a campaign like yours. So Khalida, what do you think? Sorry, Khalid.
Suddenly I become Khalida.
Khalida and Khalid become Cinta.
Okay. First, we need to look for influencers that reflect our works, our NGO works, our initiative works. So we cannot find those influencers that are contra to our initiative.
Okay.
That is number one. And then at the same time, it is not only to have a win-win situation, but we need to have a win-win-win situation. It is triple win and not double win, because a win for our NGO, win for our influencer, and win for our beneficiary that the NGO are serving. Sometimes we have influencer that looking for win-win situation, which is mean, okay, I need you to pay me a certain dollar, and at the same time I will do A, B, C, D, and 4. A, B, C, D, and not Z, but then up to only 4. A, B, C, D, and 4. But at the same time, they never thought about the beneficiary, how to push further to have bigger impact for the beneficiary. Yes, the NGO might be win, and also the influencer might be receive their money or maybe sometime payment or incentive or sagu hati, but the beneficiary that waiting for our help doesn't receive much. So we need to have a win-win-win situation. So that's why before I said just now, we need to bring the influencer to on ground to experience the actual situation of the beneficiary. Then only the influencer will understand the actual situation. And might be if you bring them to the grassroots or on the ground, they will even say, "Okay, I not no need for you to pay me anything." Might be because they themselves feel the struggle and also how they struggle to live, for example. Yeah.
Okay, so how about you, Zahidah? What was your arrangement with Daud?
I think we had a discussion earlier. I had a discussion earlier with Khalid. Khalid mentioned about having good hearts. So win-win-win. I would just like to highlight that doing this charity work, having an NGOs and such, it's all about the beneficiaries. We have to serve them. We have to think about them, but also we also need to think about who the people that we are collaborating with, like not to simply take them for granted. We have to understand that we cannot take them for granted, or because this is charity work, it's going to be a free advertisement or such. Yeah. Effective communication is the key. Yeah, not to have assumptions and expectations. You have to really see it and talk about it.
Yeah, I can see that one of the audience here, Balkis, so she mentioned the same as well, not just persistence, but be empathetic towards the influencers to get the attention and also, the social media influencers. So we have a question for you, Khalid, from Hamam Masri. So I guess he's your friend. So he said, may Allah make this a great Ramadan for all of us, despite the global issues that we're facing right now. So he has a very important question for you. So giving the global approach of LaunchGood, okay, I guess we have to clarify this question. So giving the global approach of LaunchGood, the campaigns or donors, I guess what Hamam means here is, how do you approach the donors globally to your campaigns?
Okay. Jazakumullah khair, Brother Hammam. He's Palestinian but staying in Lebanon.
I see.
Okay. So this is the whole. Okay, giving the global approach of LaunchGood, be it in campaign or donor, do you suggest engaging non-local influencer for project done in different location? For example, utilize Malaysian influencer for project in Yemen to help penetrating different market and get better exposure. Okay, yes. I always believe that to look for influencer, it is not only for you to have a local people. We might, for example, if we address the issue of Yemen, we might not find Yemeni influencer because maybe they are in struggle for war. But at the same time, we look for local Malaysia influencer that have and understand the value of humanity. Because the secret ingredient of fundraising is unique, appealing proposition. You need to look for unique point of appealing that we can bring more donors. Like for example, if we have how do we bring? I mean, how do we convince local Malaysia for Gaza issue, for Yemeni issue? For example, we look, we Malaysian are touched by the struggle that the Syrian refugee that facing. For example, they eat grass, for example. So no need for us to look for Arabs influencer for that, but it is more towards looking towards what is our unique appealing proposition. So the influencer will attack the unique appealing part, and then inshallah we will bring more and more donors to our initiative.
So a question from Munira Mahidin. So she's a friend of mine. Hi Munira. She's my schoolmate. So Munira Mahidin. So she asked, would you have few influencers for one campaign, or just focus on one big name influencer for one campaign for more successful campaigns? So I can see that Zahidah used only one influencer, Daud, and also for Khalid, you use 8 influencers for one campaign. So what would you suggest? Is it good to have a lot of influencers for one campaign, or should we focus on one influencer? Yeah, how about you, Khalida? Why did you choose only Daud to support that campaign?
I think because, to be honest, it was our very first time. So we actually, not to say try and error, but we want to see how it goes, because you never know until you try, right? Because it depends on what's your strategy with your organization, and also how you're gonna fully utilize these influencers, not just bringing them on board, but not knowing how to actually maximize their impact as influencers. It goes back to your strategies.
So Khalid, the Mercy Malaysia campaign, that campaign wasn't the only campaign that you have worked with influencers. You also worked with Sata, who is a Malaysian local influencer with 2 million followers on his Instagram, and with him you did another project, right? To help the children, a children's shelter in Kuala Lumpur. So so what's your take about this? You have one campaign with one influencer, you have one campaign with many influencers. Do both of them work well? What's your take about it?
Okay, sometimes we need to plan our fundraising by using the analogy of having a chair with 5 or 6 legs. We have the opportunity, whether we need to use, whether we have the option whether to use chairs with 5 legs or chairs with only 1 leg. If our 1 leg broke, then we will fall down. Same goes to our fundraising. If we were to have a 5 or 6 influencer at the same time, we might not might be the influencer A are not, the strategy that we use with influencer A are not working well, but it will work from another 4 influencer. So that's why in our previous initiative, when we have Sata to support Yusuf and Sarah campaign, where we print books, and that a portion of the books that we print, we will donate to Committed Malaysia, Rumah Perlindungan Committed Malaysia. When we do that, there are sometimes we have the not only donor fatigue but also influencer fatigue. But when we use the different approach or different strategy of having a stool with 5 or 8, this one is 8 influencer, it gives us more energy to go far and to reach more channel. So every influencer, if for example Sata have 1.2 million followers, what about Miss Nina? What about Kelvin Zari? What about the other influencer? When they do shout out, they become our, it is a kind of, they are also our fundraiser for us. Yeah.
All right. Thank you to both of you for we learned so much from both of you today, and yeah, and Daud left early because he had to excuse himself. If he stayed on, probably he would listen to all the secrets that we've been using, all the secret tactics, like reaching out to him, very persistent, and all of that. So, okay. I can see here that one of them say that I would like to speak to you from Mustafa Kamal from Bangladesh. So we have our Smart Corona page. You can actually talk to us, talk to one of the LaunchGood crowdfunding experts. So you can book a call with us, and inshallah we can do some consultation session for free. So tomorrow, there's another webinar with Khalid. So Tariq from Celebrate Mercy, he did a successful campaign, mashallah. So our co-founder, Chris, he'll be the host for tomorrow's webinar. So they're going to discuss, how Celebrate Mercy uses unique link tracking to raise 100,000 US dollars every time. So, so even though we have ended the session here, please do share this video. You can always watch this later whenever that is convenient to you. So keep on sharing, and inshallah it will benefit many others out there. Last but not least, don't forget to sign up to our Ramadan challenge. So you can go to launchgood.com/sign up. So sign up to our Ramadan challenge. Inshallah, you're going to have a very fruitful Ramadan month ahead. So thank you again. Thank you so much, Zahidah. Thank you so much, Khalid. I wish you all the best for your campaigns, Ramadan campaigns. Yeah, so we're going to end with a Ramadan challenge video again. So the ones who have missed it, so do have a look at our video. So last but not least, stay safe, stay healthy, stay home, don't go anywhere while we are combating this virus. Okay, thank you so much. Assalamualaikum. Good night.